I was a $4.5 million agency, and I'm faced with about losing 1.9 to $2.5 million in total premium, especially when they got out of the habitational risk too. So
Yeah.
I had to make a very educated but yet risky decision. And the other thing I can't emphasize enough is you're growing up, you need to save money. You need to plan. And if you don't have a plan, you can't work the plan. And saving allowed me to sock away enough money for a rainy day. And this turned out to be a rainy year. And while I'm building the new agency, I've got that money to fall back on, knowing full well if I implement the same strategies that I did when I first got started in the insurance business, they would work with this because things don't change when it comes to hard work. If you work hard, as long as you work efficiently, you're going to do well. So
Yeah, boy.
you have to implement plans.
Yeah, great point to make, Sam, about having enough capital because life will always occur. I stress that so much with my clientele. Sometimes I have some of the younger ones that don't get it. They're so optimistic that everything will go right. And that's just not the way life goes. So good for you for being ready and having enough cash to be able to make that transition. That's really important. Okay, so talk about the difference between being an underwriting agency versus an order taking agency.
What Erie has allowed us to do as agents, they put a lot of trust in their agents, and they like to bring on agents that have got some experience. I showed that I was profitable. So they allow me to go out and look at risks, collect all the valid information, such as photographing the risk, getting the loss runs, talking with the people, and then reviewing, is this a risk that if I was Erie Insurance Company, would I want to underwrite or take a chance on a company based on their premiums? Maybe they're paying $6,000 a year in premium, but I've got $1 million building. Would I want to be that company to put $1 million on the risk for only $6,000 in premium? So it
Right.
allowed me to change from the captive world to the independent agent world, where a company actually puts a lot of trust into us. With the captive world, we were pretty much strictly on
Order
that. If
taking.
it didn't fit, we didn't want it. Whereas Erie, let's take a look at it. Maybe it doesn't fit, but let's see what we can do to help the insured. Maybe it doesn't fit right now, but let's implement some programs. Let's give them some advice on how to control these losses or how to take measures to prevent potential losses. And let's take a look at it next year if it doesn't fit right now. And then it's allowed me to educate potential insureds, the ones that truly care about their business, the ones that
Yeah,
truly understand how insurance works. Those are the clients that I really want that are open to suggestion.
sure. So it's more of a collaborative relationship with Erie than it was in the past with your previous
Oh,
insurance company. And
absolutely.
okay, so Sam, can you tell us what the difference is between being an underwriting agency and an order taking agency?
An underwriting agency allows the agent on the independent side to go out and interview the potential prospect, take a look at their operations, gather the pertinent information such as photographs, loss runs, looking at their loss control, and taking it back to the underwriter, even if it doesn't parse say to say that it fits in their appetite. They're going to take a look at it. Erie takes a look at everything, and if it flat out doesn't fit, then it doesn't fit. And sometimes there's reasons why. So we give the insured, this is why it doesn't fit right now. Maybe you can take these measures, put in bollards in front of your store to prevent cars from driving through them, making sure people aren't standing on stands. It allows us to give advice and to gather the information and work with underwriting. Erie is a true underwriting company, whereas a lot of other companies in the captive side are strictly order takers. If it fits, if it doesn't, we don't want it, period. That's the difference.